Can't decide between a weighted vest or just using a backpack? Which one is going to be best for pull-ups, push-ups, dips? Which one are you going to use for your weighted calisthenics training? Which one is going to be better value for money? In this video, I'm going to be doing a direct comparison between these two to let you guys know which is the best decision for you. Let's get straight into the video. So the first category we're going to look at is comfort. And this is important because it has to be comfortable to be able to wear this. We don't want it to be rubbing on the body. We don't want it to be shifting. And basically, if you're going to be wearing this for multiple different exercises or wearing it for a long duration of time, or even doing stuff like hiking or rucking in this, it has to be comfortable, as you're not going to want to wear it. When you have a look at this one, and I've got 3 different weighted vests. I have the Kenzui, I have the Gravity Fitness, and I have the Pull Up and Dip one. The Pull Up and Dip one is the most comfortable one. It's a bit more premium, but little things like adjustability is important for comfort, because if it doesn't fit you and it doesn't adjust, some of them, like the Gravity Fitness, is a one size fit all. If it doesn't fit to your body, it's going to move more. It's not going to be as comfortable. It's not going to distribute weight as evenly. This one, you can adjust it on the side and on the shoulders. You can get it to fit perfectly so it doesn't move. And also, it's a nice little thing. It's the actual straps that you can pull forward. You can lock away in here, where sometimes with some weighted vests, they hang out the side, and when you're moving up and down here, it rubs on the inside and it makes it uncomfortable. But weighted vests in general tend to be better than a backpack, purely because there's less adjustability here. And not all bags are equal either. This is another bag that I got from Pull Up and Dip. This is to actually carry their portable pull-up bar, but this one's better because it has a chest strap and it also has a waist strap with kind of a bit of padding on here. A traditional backpack is going to be probably even worse, or sort of more in favor of the weighted vest. These are probably the better ones because it has got a bit of padding here and a bit of padding on the shoulders. The chest and the waist strap does make it more likely to stick and fit to your body, which again is going to make it more comfortable at heavier loads. But the weight vest in general is going to be more comfortable. The weight is also distributed more evenly depending on how much load that you're having, because you can load it on the front and on the back, so it's going to more evenly distribute. And obviously you have these sort of padding that you can put on your shoulders just to make it more comfortable. Sometimes there's padding in behind it and at the back, so these are going to be far more comfortable. When you have a look at the backpack, all of the weight is going to be on the back, so all of that weight is going to be pressing down your shoulders, and it's going to be pulling you back as well, which is going to probably make it a little bit more unbalanced, and more of that force, more of that load is going to be going into your shoulders, which can be a bit more uncomfortable. And depending on the back, you might feel it actually weighing down in the back of your sort of lower back, depending on what sort of weights you're using. And if you're using cushions to sort of balance it out, that in some cases can be quite uncomfortable for some people. So if a primary focus for you is comfort, a weighted vest is going to be a clear winner. The next category we're going to look at is load capacity. This is going to be important, especially for people that want to go rocky or maybe take their weighted calisthenics to the next level. And there are some exercises where we can lift more than others. So in most cases, people can do heavier weights when it comes to their push-ups or maybe even their leg exercises compared to something like the pull-up. So having that ability to increase the load can be really, really important for some people. When it comes to overall load capacity, depending on which vest you go for, I've got a Gravity Fitness one. This goes up to 30 kilos, and obviously the Pull Up and Dip one goes up to 15 kilos. So some of them are kind of tied, where if you have a backpack, in most cases, depending on what backpack you go for, hiking bags tend to be a little bit stronger. You can get rucking backpacks as well that can take heavier loads. So not all bags are created equal, but in most cases, you can probably load more weight into a backpack than you can a vest. This one, the max you're going is 30 kilos. This one, the max you're going is 15 kilos. With this one, the max is basically, in most cases, however much weight I can load into these things and make it comfortable without the straps going. This is obviously a hiking bag. This is meant for carrying heavier loads. Obviously with the chest strap, the padding and the padded side and the waist strap makes it a bit more comfortable and easier to keep that weight close to me. Where if you don't have the chest strap or the weight, sometimes your weight can bang away from you and it's not as stable or secure towards closer to your center of gravity. So some bags aren't treated equal, but this one, you're not going any heavier. And obviously depending on which weight vest you go for, the heavier the loads, the more it's going to cost you. With this one, if you wanted to load this up with rocks, load it up with books, basically anything that's got weight, water bottles, fill this thing up with water bottles, and you've got free weight. These you obviously have to pay for the weight. These ones you could technically have the weight for free. So when it comes to overall load capacity and what weight you can have, the backpack is going to be a clear winner in that regard. So category 3 is stability through movement. This is a key thing, especially if you're doing weighted calisthenics or anything like rucking, or even if you want to use these things to go running with. You want something that's going to be stable. For one, if it's moving around all over the place, it's more likely to cause injury. Secondly, it's more likely to cause problems like chafing or rubbing, which again, you're not going to want to consistently use this bit of equipment if every time you go and use it, you get really bad chafing and rubbing to the point that it's not comfortable or painful to wear. So when it comes to stability, the one that's going to give you the most customization or fit is going to be the one that's going to sit closest to you. It's going to be more comfortable. A weighted vest is going to be a clear winner compared to a backpack, because depending on which backpack you have, this one, yes, a hiking bag, you have the chest strap and you have the waist strap. That's probably as much customization you're going to get, but it's not going to beat what you can get with a vest like this, where it really sits close to your body. Not all vests are created equal though. This is a one size fit all gravity fitness one, where yes, you can adjust the waist one to really bring it in tight, but it's not going to fit you as well because you don't have the shoulder ability to be able to pull it in and crank it in close to you. These as well, because of the weight on the backpack is going to be distributed behind you, it's going to make it so how it moves, depending on what movements you do, it can shift. If you're loading up weights into a backpack, because it can potentially be loose, there's more likely it's going to shift or move, especially if you're doing any plyometric movement like box jumps or anything like that, or running, it's more likely to be bouncing up and down. Sure, you can try and pack this in as easily as you can, or maybe using weights like water bottles where it's not going to be as uncomfortable, but there still is that ability to shift. These ones, because of the weights, are basically built into little pads. So there's no movement, these lock into place and then they hold their shape. And now if I jump or move, there's very little movement in these. And that's what we want. We want something that's going to be stable while we're moving, so we can not only do the movement efficiently, but we can do it safely and reduce the risk of injury. So if you're looking at that and that's something that's important to you, a weighted vest is going to be a clear winner. If at this point you want to check out this weighted vest or even the backpack, there will be links to it down below. But let's continue on to the next category. So category number 4, and that's versatility of exercise you can do. This is going to be a fundamental or a key thing that's going to make someone decide between going for a backpack or a vest, because at the end of the day, we're looking to get into weighted calisthenics and other movements where being loaded is going to help us to be able to push our sort of muscle building, our strength training, or even our cardiovascular training to the next level. So we want to have something that's going to allow us to get more bang for our buck, allow us to get more exercises by using one bit of equipment. In most cases, a weighted vest is going to be the best one you can go for, because there are some exercises that you just can't do with a backpack. Ones that come to mind are stuff like handstand push-ups, anything where basically you're leaning on your back. So if you want to do something like inverted rows, a lot of the time the weight is then on your back. Yes, you can try and elevate yourself a little bit higher, but the bag will kind of sag and the bag will come down a little bit, and then it's going to make it harder for you to actually get a full range of motion. However, in some cases for stuff like push-ups, the backpack is going to be better, because when you're doing push-ups, especially just straight from the floor, the vest, as you can see, is going to cut range of motion. And in some cases, if you're loading up the front, the use of the weighted vest becomes void, because now the vest is resting on the floor, where if you have a backpack, the weight is now on your back, you can go down as far as you can and you're still loaded and it's not going to get in the way. Other things sort of like pull-ups can be give or take. Sometimes when you're doing a pull-up with a backpack, because the weight is behind you, especially if you're trying to do something like chest bar pull-ups, you can kind of find that the weight kind of pulls you back a little bit, and sometimes that can change the line or the path of what you're going towards a bar. And I just find it's a little bit more comfortable and easier to do that with a weighted vest. However, if you want to do stuff like chest to bar pull-ups, in some cases, having this sort of vest padding here actually gets in the way and will shorten the range if you want to do chest to bar pull-ups. So they are kind of like give or take a little bit. Some are better than others. What I did find though is if you are doing stuff like heavy weighted pull-ups, I find it more comfortable to do the weighted vest than with the hiking bag, because sometimes once you get to a certain weight capacity, Sometimes I find that the shoulder straps, because again, they don't have as much padding, and the way that they're positioned, they dig into your arm or sometimes into your armpit, and it can be actually quite uncomfortable to do. But overall, you know, I would say if you're looking at stuff to have more versatility, want to be able to get more exercises done, some of you may want to do weighted handstand push-ups. If that's something that's interests you, then I think the weighted vest is probably going to give you more versatility overall. So the fifth category we're going to look at, and for most people, this is probably going to be the most important factor, and that's going to be the availability due to price. For some people, they may want to go for a weighted vest, but when you go for some of the top quality vests, the price can go up quite a lot, depending on whether you go for ones where you have like the steel plate, the Kenzui one where you have excess plates that you put on, but you still need to go and buy the plates yourself, or even those other ones where they're kind of like the CrossFit style ones where they have the proper big weight plates. These can change and go up in price by quite a lot, and in some cases you still got to go and buy the weight externally. Some cheaper ones are out there, but again, you're going to lack sometimes how they fit, how they feel. Are they adjustable? What weight do they go to? So you might be able to find cheaper ones, but you're probably going to be sacrificing a lot for a cheaper weighted vest. But even a cheaper weighted vest isn't going to be able to compete on price with a backpack. Even if you get yourself a slightly better quality sort of hiking backpack with, like I said, the chest strap and the hip one, sometimes you can get the Rucking Backpacks. They can be quite expensive, but a lot of the time you're paying and you're getting weights with them as well. These ones are extremely affordable for what you get. And like I said previously, yes, these have little weight plates that are built into them, and that's probably where a lot of the price is coming from. But technically I can load this up for free. I can put books in there. If I want to, I can get water bottles and fill them up with water. I can find rocks. All of these things are available, cheap and easy to have, and maybe even just putting in some clothing into the bottom to try and soften if any of the materials you're using for the weight are hard, to make it more comfortable. These are things I can do at a very affordable and easy price that allows me to get the benefits of having a weighted vest, or most of them will costing me a fraction of the price. So if price is the biggest thing, you will not beat value of a backpack over a weighted vest. One sort of like bonus point I want to highlight, which isn't always discussed, and I haven't addressed it because it didn't have a particular point. It could come down to comfort, I could say, but depending on how you're going to be using this bit of equipment, if you're going to be using it in circuit training or you're taking this thing on and off a lot, what I will say is getting a vest on and off can be time consuming, can be uncomfortable. Once you start getting to heavier loads, like when I have 30 kilos weighted on this, getting this up and over my neck and on can be a little bit tricky. There's definitely a chance you can kind of pull and yank your neck, and it takes energy out of you. Also as well, when you have these things on for a period of time, they can get quite hot and uncomfortable. Not all of them are ones you want to have on for a very, very long time. This one is better than this one. This one is thicker, like material wise. It's very easy to get hot and sweaty in that. When it comes to the backpack, what's nice about it, and a huge pro for this over the vest, is it's so easy to get on and off. Even if it's like really, really heavy loads, you can literally have this on a chair or a stand, and then you sit on it and then just hook it over your shoulders. Like, you can get some really heavy weights on here without feeling like you're having to do a workout just to get it on, where this one sometimes can be uncomfortable. And when you have it on over a long period of time, if you're doing circuits and you don't want to be taking this on and off, this will sap your strength more. So if you just have to calorie burn and just getting a harder workout, that's great. But if you're trying to conserve your energy in between sets to try and maximize and push yourself as hard as you can, having this vest on the whole time does sap your energy. When easy between sets, it's far easier to just take that backpack off than the vest overall. But guys, let me know what you think down below. Hopefully these categories and how we've sort of scored them can help you guys decide which one is best for you. Again, it depends on what vest you're going for, depends what backpack you're going for. But I think overall, you're probably going to get more versatility and exercise you can use for when it comes to the vest. But if you're looking for something cheap and effective and just covers more bases for most people aren't going to be doing, you know, weighted handstand push-ups, the backpack is probably going to be the best for most people. But like I said earlier, if you want to check out any of these products, the bag and the vest, there will be links to it down below, and there is a discount code that won't cost you anything, but it does help the channel out. So either if you go for either of these, it does help the channel and you will save yourself 10% off as well. Let me know what you think down below. Make sure you hit that like button if you found it useful, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.